Hey guys, it's Jen and I'm back with another stamping in scrapbooking video. I'm going to be using this photo and then I'm showing you a few of the stamps I'm going to use. What I'm going to show you today is how to create an interesting background using stamps. So I've got a couple of wood stamps here. One of them has a bunch of lines on it and then one is a really small polka dot. And I am going to pull out a few other stamps as well. I think that you saw a splatter one, which is from Close to My Heart. And I'm just pulling out some different inks that I might want to use. I've pulled some of the papers from the Maggie Holmes Shine collection, so I'm kind of pulling inks that will match the papers that I want to use. I picked this collection because it has a lot of blue in it, and the photo that I'm using of my daughter, she's wearing a bright blue shirt, and so I want to be sure to include some of those colors. So I'm going to be using Peacock ink from Close to My Heart, which is an awesome deep blue color. I'm using some mustard seed distress ink, some blush Close to My Heart ink, which I think is retired now, and some archival black. And then I will pull out some Whisper ink that's a light gray color, also from Close to My Heart. I pulled out a bunch of roller stamps, and these kinds of stamps are perfect for backgrounds. And I'm using this one from American Crafts. It has some hearts on it. And I'm just rolling it in my ink pad and then just randomly rolling it across the background. And if you roll it a few times, you'll get a really nice imprint with the first roll, and then you'll get some lighter tones as you keep going. Now I'm using that Whisper ink, which is the light gray, with this lined stamp set. And I'm just stamping it all around. I know I'm going to put my photo on the left because my daughter is facing into the right in the photo, and so I want her facing into the layout. And so I'm stamping the polka dots with some archival black. And so since I'm putting my photo on the left, I'm going to go ahead and do most of my stamping on that side of the layout and kind of concentrate it where it will be underneath the photo. Now, when I'm doing a background like this, I'm not worrying too much about whether the stamps are really cleanly done. I'm just trying to get an interesting look. I'm using an old Glitz roller stamp here, and I'm using the yellow ink, which is mustard seed, and I just wanted to add a bit of brightness. I know there's some yellow in the patterned papers that I might want to pull out that color, and so I went ahead and used that. So you can see that I've used a few different patterns. I did the lines, the hearts, the tiny little polka dot, and then one that's kind of like a chevron. And I think that when you're incorporating a bunch of different things on your background, it's important to choose patterns that are different from each other so they stand out enough when you stamp them all over the top of each other. I matted my photo with that blue and pink diagonal stripe, and I just absolutely love a diagonal stripe. The back of it is that pretty black and white rose paper, and so I'm going to use that also. This paper that I'm using right now is a tiny, you can barely see it, diagonal stripe. And I'm just cutting it so it's a little bit larger on one side. When I'm creating layers behind my photo, sometimes I like to make it so that some of the layers go more to one side than the other. So there will be a little bit more of the paper to the right of the photo, and that creates a nice home for a title or some journaling. So I do that quite often. So as I'm layering these up, I'm taking a pause from the background. I've already created a lot of interesting texture and dimension by just using a few of those stamps. And now I'm going to go ahead, and now that I know where my clusters are going to be, I'm going to stamp some of these splatters. I know some people are a little bit nervous about splattering their paint or mists, and a stamp with a splatter design on it is the perfect way to kind of add some controlled splatters but still get that fun look. And so I'm using the Peacock ink, which is the deeper ink, and that will shine out amongst all of the other colors. And I'm using a more solid stamp, and so that works out really nicely. So I'm just stamping where I know that it will kind of show. And that one I didn't quite get where I wanted, so I just stamped it again below it because I want it to show, I want you to be able to see those splatters underneath the layers. Now I'm just taking and roughing up the layers with my fingernail. I'm sorry that the camera keeps focusing in and out. I was standing up and it kind of messed things up because my arms kept getting up closer to the lens, so I really apologize for that. I'm adding a little bit more pink down at the bottom because there wasn't enough, but I kind of botched it a little bit, so I'm going to add something over there later to kind of detract from it. When you are creating a background like this, I think it's important to make sure that your layers don't compete too much with your background. Now, my background has a lot going on, but the colors are fairly subtle except for the pops of blue and yellow. And my backmost layer of paper is black and white, and so that helps it to not help the photo not to get too lost. I'm looking through some of these chipboard sheets that I have to see if there's anything that I might want to add. I'm going to add that word love, and that word epic came from We Are Memory Keepers. I think it's called Shine. No, it's not called Shine. That's the Maggie Holmes collection is Shine. I can't remember what the We Are Memory Keepers one is called, but I'll link to it below as well as over on my blog. I'm going to use these thickers. They're a little bit older to spell out my title, and I just like the way that the bright pink stands out against everything else. And my title is going to be, This is a Small Victory. And I'm going to try to figure out what I want to use for the word small. And as I've been doing lately, I'm going to go ahead and pull out some of my brush script tools and create part of my title using my hand lettering. So I'm actually going to do it on vellum this time, and I'm just using a Tombow Fude hard nibbed pen to create this. Again, I'll link to that. And I'm just writing the word small, and I'm going to trim around that, and it really looks like a die cut. The way that pen looks on the paper really makes it look like it's printed on there. It looks really cool. I don't think you can see what I'm doing right now, but I am putting that through my Xyron sticker maker because it's hard to adhere vellum, right? And so I'm just going to, oh no, I was just trimming it out, but I will stick it through my Xyron here in a minute. Sorry that you couldn't see that, but you didn't need to watch me cut anyway. So the title is called Small Victory because my daughter we're at Chick-fil-A in this photo, and she is ordering her own ice cream cone. And she is a very introverted child, and she has a hard time stepping out of her comfort zone. And so she's 9 now, and it's kind of a big deal that she will order something for herself now. We were sitting down, and she wanted an ice cream cone, and I told her, if you go order it yourself, then you can have it. And she totally did it, and it was a big deal for her because she used to cry when we'd ask her to do something like that, and she was very nervous about it. So she's becoming a little bit more independent, and that's really cool. So I wanted to document that. I'm going back to my trusty old Teresa Collins tile alphabets here for the rest of my title, and then I am going to put that, now I'm going to put that little word small through my Xyron sticker maker. And that just puts adhesive on the back of whatever you run through it. And it works really, really awesome on vellum pieces. And I like the way the vellum looks, especially on this layout, because you can see through it to the background and you don't lose that stamping on the background. You can still see through it, which is really cool looking. So I'm going to pull out these pink paisley arrows because I want to draw a little bit more attention to my daughter. She's wearing bright blue, so your eye kind of already goes to her, but I want to make it a little bit more evident by actually pointing to her with an arrow. And so I pull out a pink paisley arrow, and I'm going to do this blue one. And I want to add another arrow, but I'm not going to use a pink paisley one. I'm going to use one of those Craft Market puffy stickers that you can see to the right there. I'm going to pull off a gold arrow. And at first, when I pulled this gold arrow off, I thought I would point it back to the photo again, but I decide instead to point it to the title. That way, your eye naturally, we read left to right, and so if you start at the left-hand side of the page, you see the arrow pointing down to my daughter, so your eye goes down that way, and then that other arrow is going to draw your eye to the title, so it just creates a natural flow and kind of an L shape for my layout. I pulled a few of the stickers off of, or the hearts off of that puffy sticker sheet as well. And now I'm pulling a little plastic arrow from these Close to My Heart fundamental, it's like comes in a little package with 4 different kinds of embellishments in one color. And this is the peacock color, I believe. I thought I might use some of these little glitter hearts, but I decide not to. But I did like the way that little, plastic arrow thingy looks on the photo next to the other arrow. So I'm going back to this Maggie Holmes chipboard sheet to see if there's anything I want to add, and I thought it would be nice to incorporate a little bit more yellow. So I pulled out this little banner. I thought about putting it at the top, but I kind of like the way it frames the title at the bottom. And since I've got that pop of yellow with the word epic on the left-hand side, I thought it'd be nice to draw your eye down to the right with another pop of yellow. So I'm going to put that underneath the title. And I'm looking for something blue that I can put in that title cluster because I've got a lot of blue going on at the top, but not really any in the title area. So I'm going to play around for a little bit with some different stickers, and as I'm going through, I'll place a few more word stickers to the right of the photo. And I'm using these 7 Paper, which is a Studio Calico company. They are like these little boy phrases, but there are some really awesome ones. And the one I put at the top right says the world is your oyster. And then these ones that I put above the title say I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. And those were absolutely perfect for this layout. That little black real life sticker and the love you heart came from the Maggie Holmes Shine sticker sheet. And now I'm just looking again for some more blue, something I can add, and I'm just not finding it. I'm looking through a bunch of different things I've pulled out. Those are some Heidi Swap puffy stickers. I decided I don't want more puffy stickers on there. Found this word happy, but I didn't like the way it kind of continued the title. I didn't think that quite worked. And so I'm just looking through all of my stuff to see what I could add. And I found this little bow, but I didn't like the way that looked on top of the banner. And so I'm just being a little bit indecisive here with what I want to add to that. I'm looking through these die cuts that are from I think it's We Are Memory Keepers. No, it's not. It's Simple Stories. I said We Are Memory Keepers before with that epic sticker. That's Simple Stories. And I'm looking through my Maggie Holmes little die cuts here, and I'm not going to find anything in there either. I eventually find a number 9 in my Crate Paper little thing of die cuts, which, speaking of die cuts, if you didn't see it already, me and Arit Landgraf have a new class coming on Tuesday called Die Cut Diversity, and I posted a video earlier today, so be sure to check that out, where I was supposed to do a giveaway and I forgot. So if you are watching this video and if you'll go back and comment on my new class video for Die Cut Diversity, I'll enter you to win a spot in the class. And the class is $30, so that will be something fun to win. Anyway, the video is going to cut off here, but like I mentioned, I found that number 9. And I'm just going to show you some close-up photos here, and I apologize for their quality because they're iPhone photos. This layout was honestly done in a hurry, and I'm glad I got it done, and I think it turned out cute. And I just added a little bit of journaling and some stamping at the top to balance the journaling, and that completes the layout. Be sure to head to CraftyJenSchow.com if you have any questions or if you want to link to all of the products that I've used here. And also, remember to go back to that other video that I posted earlier today, so it's the video right before this one, to leave a comment so you can enter to win a spot in me and Arit's class. And I will see you next week with another stamping and scrapbooking video. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you soon.